Hello. Good to have you again on the program, The Economy Today. It's a big pleasure that there is life for us today, and we are happy to be alive. The economy, how has it been with you? That's the question. And then, of course, here, we always want to ensure that it comes to you in the best of forms. And so the economy today, we have decided to go to another sector, and it has to do with the car dealers and their services. By the way, I am Okechukwu Onubogu. Good to have you there. And now let's talk about them. The car dealers have got their own problems because they are importers of vehicles, and apart from being importers, they also market these products that they bring in. They have gone through some stress on a serious note, and had problems with them, running problems and battles with some factors, some people, some arms or people in an arm of the government. And that's talking about the customs service and all that. Talking about coming in, bringing their products and not letting any other person help them do it other than the people who are registered with the custom. After that, their goods will start coming in, and customs will still be in the streets to disturb them while they are bringing in those goods that have been paid for, and everything has been done at the wharf. So it's a serious matter. And since this week we are discussing the commerce industry and the economy, we have to look that way because that is commerce. That's part of it. And so as we have it today, we will also share to find out everything about it, how they feel about it. You recall that we've got some others before now, but today we're going to those ones. But before we get there, there are things we have seen that have to do with the economy, the things that have to do with the money that we have. There are certain statements that have been made by some authorities, beginning with the president and all that, that are also of importance as far as discussing the economy is concerned. And so this day, we will share some of these. And I've got a guest, but I'll let you know who my guest is by the time we would return from that story that has to do with the car dealers. Let's go there.
Car dealers in Nigeria are experiencing hard times in the conduct of their business within the country, ranging from clearance, import duty to settlement of the many custom checkpoints, exorbitant fuel price, and the crippling insecurity in the land.
Today's business and everything is very so bad because to import cars now to sell is another thing. To clear the car in the wharf is a very big problem, because the other time I import a EX 350 Lexus 2008 model. Before we used to clear the car with 550,000, but now is about, the last one I clear is about 2.850, which is very bad. You know, we are not talking about like Toyota Highlander, all those big cars. Any car from 2013-14. Before is about almost 700 and something thousand, but now is about, the last one I clear last year is about 3 million naira. So the thing is very high. So by the time you import all those cars and pay your driver to bring it down, okay, let's say from Lagos to down to Abuja here, you spend another money based on fuel, you know, because the fuel price is high. So all those things is affecting everything. We don't have good roads. Sometimes your driver will call you that see what happened, or the tire or this enter gallop or something like that, all those things. So that is what is happening. So situation in Nigeria now is very bad. It's so bad. To sell now is another problem. If you bring like, let's say 5 cars, to you to sell one inside the 5 is a very big problem. Because no money, people prefer to buy Nigerian use.
The era of the past governments, we are so careful selling. The business was booming, good, fine, we're enjoying ourselves, despite the man in charge before, the controller, what is his name called? He even come to the to the stand and come and pick a car as if we stole a car from the airport, from the port. Said we should pay. He said, but it's your duty. Why do we should pay? We should pay at the Tinker, and we brought the car all the way from Tinker to Abuja. Now you come to our stand and say we should pay. Then you come and pick our car here. We have a lot of problem then. But coming to this era is just too bad. You increase import duty, you increase what's so called, you threaten us, we cannot sell. At least it's just too bad. It's just too bad. And this is what we are living on. The situation is so bad, very, very bad, that in a month we cannot be able to sell a car. Then and we have to come to this place because this is where we feed our family. This is where we feed we solve our problem. So personally, I will sit down and start thinking, what business do I want to face now? I cannot go to market. I cannot buy fuel for I park my car there. I cannot even buy fuel. I cannot. This fact, the country is just something else. I decided to change my business, but I was thinking, what test do I do?
Yeah, it's not easy like it used to be because of the government policies that is affecting our business. You see the custom duties are high, so it's making it difficult, and the dollar rate is also high, so it's making it difficult for dealers, car dealers like us, to bring cars to the country. You see that people are no more patronizing like it used to be. Cars are now, the prices of cars are so high because when you import cars, the import duties are high. So it also affects the price of the cars here. So people are not patronizing like it used to be before. Instead, they prefer to buy the Nigerian used cars, outdated cars, because when they come with the money, the price of car like you can use before, the 5 million that you can use to buy a Tukumbo car before, use the same 5 million now to buy a Nigerian used car. So it's also affecting the sales. Now, those cars that we used to sell for 5 million before is like 16 million now, 15 million.
Like before, they are very cheap. But now, as of now, we find it difficult. Even to get the car safe, you can't get it now. Because the car of 5 million before, now you will see 25 million, 20 million.
Recently, that since the issue of the economical change, which I believe that coming to the level of dollar and the import duty has really affected our business, in the sense that mostly it's not even, to me, it's not about the dollar effect, but I believe the import duty has been there because the increment in the import duty has affected people to import foreign cars. So people are now depending on the local ones. You know, but still on the side of the economy generally, people doesn't have the money. In fact, what we'll do now is that we will have a lot of car owners that want to sell, but we don't see the buyers.
The major problem that we are having now, that if we are sending money to the outside country, we are clear the car. If we are coming after we pay our duty, the problem that we are facing on the road, the custom they will tell us we are pay other payments. So they will begin threatening us. Even the day for yesterday, they are collecting almost 3 million naira for my callings for the road. So the problem that we are facing is that, and if you want to collect any car from the port, unless the people where they are registered with custom, they are the one that they're supposed to, they are the one that we are giving them money to declare the motor for us. So, but if you are reach the road, custom, you are facing challenges, not be small one with them. So that's our problem that we are facing today.
So tough, because as I told my chairman when I came back from my trip last week, it's like these people are promoting criminal. They are trying to promote crime because we don't benefit from government. We don't benefit from government. We are trying to put food on the table for our family, but they are still pushing us. You can see, look at the way the life we are living. 25, 20 years back, We move in the night, we move how we feel like. Is it people push? Like, you see the way crime is today in this country. Like we are talking about kidnapping, Boko Haram, all these issues. They are the ones that push people to that extent. Not all of us have that kind of heart to not jump into that kind of dirty deed. But look at now, when I go to Lagos, we can't always put our money on the sea like we import car by ourselves. I did it before. But before your car arrived, it will be maybe 6 weeks, 2 months on the sea. But we decided now you separate your money. The one that you order, some you buy it from agent in Lagos. That Lagos, when we bought car there, when you are coming on our way back to Abuja or Kano State, you will meet custom. Before, when we meet them, we used to pay custom in our officer in duty 500. But now they turn it to each checking point 10,000. I paid it. Yes. Now, how many customers are you going to meet from Lagos to Abuja here? How much are you going to pay before you fuel your car, before you settle police on the road? What we need along all this road, because I can see police, to say the truth, they are working on that one. Yes, I always say it, because without them we can't be moving successfully for the road. What we need in all this road is only police. All the customs supposed to be at border. After we clear our car at port there, they will still be right from my 2 there. Everyone knows, everyone that deal with all these Tokumbo cars knows. If immediately you leave PTML, you meet custom before you climb the my 2 bridge. That is how you'll be meeting them. When you come to Ogere, when you come to Omuwo, when you come to Lokoja, that one is worst. This is my trip that I came back last. They pursue me like I'm from Cotonou. Meanwhile, I don't do anything contraband. This thing is too much. Then they will not see people are carrying gun up and down. No, you people push them to the wall now. What are they going to do?
Go to Cotonou, we buy according to the exchange. Yes. Now, the exchange now is affecting our business because the dollar is not stable. And most people that is in America that used to ship their cars, because some Nigerians in America, they use it to return their money back home. They cannot afford to bring it again because you buy motor for dollar. Like now, during the time of Jonathan, the dollar was 1 something. But now, the dollar is about 1,000 plugs. You can see the difference. Some cars that you used to buy like 5,000, like this kind of Sienna. I used to save my own before, 4.5 million, 5 million. But today, this car now is 13 million because of the exchange. And most people that used to send their cars from abroad, they cannot do it again. Because at times when they bring the thing here, plus increasing the increment they did in clearing, it's affecting the whole thing. Now we are managing that. Government now come and also remove subsidy. The subsidy flied out. So even the cost of fuel is very high. Most cars that have 6-cylinder, it's very hard for people to ride on it. You can now find that even in Abuja here, about 90% of private cars carry transport in order to meet up. To buy the fuel, fuel is very expensive because of the subsidy. And now, even the SEPA, sometimes we used to change 321 naira for 1,000 SEPA. You understand? But now, SEPA now is bigger than our naira. A car that you will buy 6 million SEPA in Cotonou is almost about, you are talking about 7 to 8 million naira. So what do? So that is what is keeping us. The thing is keeping us crumbling. And as this car is not even affecting the dealers alone, even the marketers, the people that are selling commodities, they are finding it difficult. If you go today, you will buy a budu of rice or beans. Beans that was the cheaper is now the highest. The gari that is cheaper now is high. If you see somebody drinking gari before, it's a poor man. But anybody drinking gari now is a big man. So that is what is causing.
They have, therefore, made a clarion call on the government for rescue to enable them continue to put food on the table in their individual homes.
I want every one of us to go and retire his bellets. This government, if they are not ready to do anything, then we vote for next president.
Government policies is not helping businessmen in Nigeria because you see the dollar rate, how the dollar is increasing every day. So because these cars are imported, and before you import a car, you must change naira to dollar. So the exchange rate is affecting it, and the business is not like it used to be. And the only thing that can make the business to move is when the dollar comes down, and it boils down to the government. They should work on it and know how they will bring the price of this dollar down, so that every other goods, not just cars, every other commodities that are being imported, the prices will equally drop when dollar rate is dropped.
The problem is from the government. One, the custom paper, the dollar. If the dollar drop down and the custom paper drop down, I think everything will come down.
As you can see, if you look around, you will see thousands of cars in KAFTAN, but buyers are not forthcoming. So the issue is this. I will still remember that if the import duty will go down, if we can go there, because what I believe is the federal government policy that will increase the custom duty that affected this. If you go to other neighboring countries like Cotonou, the cars there is still high, it's still low. The price is low, but in Nigeria is high because of the duty. So if you go to Cotonou, you see cars, but the problem is before you come into Nigeria.
So that I want to explain to the government that to rescue us and to appeal to them and to know how to talk with the custom that they are the road.
Government need to do something about it, most especially custom issue. In fact, for a while, this business we are doing, we really need help. It's too much. This stress is too much. What we need, maybe let's take it. Maybe they should reduce the duty money, the tariff. They should reduce it for us. Number one. Number two, maybe any agent that follow backyard to go and bribe custom there, they should do something on it. Instead of to be disturbing us on our way back here, they should not let that happen. Because is that same custom that they are disturbing us on our way back to our destination are still in that office there. So please, we need government to work on it for us.
If Nigeria can come back when they make mistake, they come back to their drawing board and bring the thing, the rule about the pride. You know, I know that president, the day he swear in, he just say without hearing from the National Assembly, he say I remove subsidy. He did not plan it. So that is what is affecting the whole situation.
They described all these problems as major reasons for which prices of cars imported and locally sourced are beyond the reach of the average Nigerian.
And that's it. You have seen them and heard them say the things that concern them. You see, these marketers, these importers will go out and get the product and bring in. Again, there'll be trouble on the way. And so who are the authorities that should help put these things in order? We will definitely bring somebody from that authority that will be into this place one of these days to talk. And let's find out what they will be saying about all that. Looking into what we have, that I try to find out the more from them why the cost of the vehicles has so skyrocketed that the ordinary man can't get one any longer. And they try to explain. Because when all these things are there, at the end of the day, there's no way it will not go high. Even the local ones, the ones that are purchased from members, people in the country, it still goes high because the cost of everything is high at a time like this. The cost of fuel has gone so high, and so even when you get these local ones, the fueling and the cost of preparing it to look good is also high. We have got this thing as a spiral effect on everything that is happening in the country. Money. Well, let's come down to think about the things that we have seen. Like our president recently said that 2 million naira will be pumped into 2 million barrels per day of oil production is what they hope we will start having in our country soon. Remember the other day we mentioned the fact that the MD of that department said that they are going to wage war. And the president has also come to talk about it, that 2 million barrels per day of oil is what they hope to bring into production so as to reduce the problem of saying that we don't have enough. And know it that those 2 million barrels they want to produce have not started, though. They will start. That is what it's aimed at. When they find out what the problem that leads to that inability to produce the 200 barrels per day. Now, before you now start, then get it done. You know, some of the times when these things are mentioned, they are not expected to begin to happen immediately or on the spot. There are processes that may take about 3, 4, 5, in some cases 6 months before they get to happen. The realization of such things don't happen instant. That's one thing we all need to be careful to note about here, because it will come, definitely, but it will take its own time. And that takes us back to when the president says that we need to be patient, we need to wait, we need to hope that things will get better. This is the process of waiting we are in today. So we'll keep waiting, but we hope that the wait or waiting will not be for too long. Let's wait and hope to have something better as we're waiting, not after waiting, we'll not get it well. And someone that was on this program last week mentioned, earlier this week, in the first edition of the week, said, what if the subsidy was returned? Must it be removed? If there is any problem, why not return it and let's go back to the drawing board? Again, one of these fellows that we just interviewed about the car dealers mentioned the same thing, that if there is a mistake, let it be restored. Let them return it and continue again and go back later. Rather than, because the president has said it is gone, it remains gone, when there is trouble everywhere in the land as a result of consequence upon the fact that it was removed. It could be returned and removed later. That is, when the right things are put in place to enable free flow of activities in the country, after which then it will be gradually removed. Even if it's not gradually removed, even if it's removed immediately, that is when everything is in order, nobody will feel the pain. But the fact is that all the things that should be put in place are there, not done yet. The CNG vehicles are nowhere to be found. The roads have not been perfected, and the factories have not been put in order. And so, all of a sudden, the only thing that helps people to stay on, taken away from them. What do we expect? That's why the person that sells corn on the road, maize, tells you that it's high now. The one that sells cucumber at the roadside will tell you the same thing. Now, because of the fact that even ability to get to the place from where these products are sourced is difficult because of the high cost of fuel in the country. The sad thing is that we are gathering from the grapevine that it's still not going to remain this way. It will still increase. That's why I pray that the CNG matter be handled better. Only 3% of Nigeria's gas is what is being used currently, what is currently deployed for the production of CNG. If it's only 3%, how can it go? How can it go? It means it's so low. What can 3% do? That's what we need to find out, that only 3% of Nigeria's gas is being deployed for this. What is it that we're doing with the rest? We need to do a whole lot more, put them at work fast so that it could be made better, that we'll sort these things out the best way that they need to be sorted out. Our country is in a hurry to develop. Our country is in a hurry to be put in order because lives are being lost on a constant note. People are dying because of hunger and a lot more. But when things are put in place to make things better for our people, of course, we will get better. Talking about our health, you know that hospitals in the country today are not the best. They are not the best. What we have in our country today is something else. And we pray and hope that in this renewed hope, these things will be put in order. That in this renewed hope, it will be easy for people to access health for themselves. In actual fact, the economy and the health, our health or health sector and the economy will be what we will discuss in the coming week. So let me not just say so much about that, but I just need to let you know that there is need also that the things that have to do with our health will be put in order. Because after all, it is said that a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. A healthy person is a wealthy person. So life goes on. How do we do it? How can life be made better when the medical or the health sector is not in order? How can someone's life, how can the life of the citizens or the citizenry be put in order when our health sector is out of order? These are questions we need to ask. These are things we need to find out. These are things we need to discuss to find out how best we could make things happen for us and happen correctly, not just happening, but to happen correctly. It's still on this program that we will discuss all these. But first, it's the commerce, industry, and the economy. Now, I want to take a little break. And by the time I return, I'll now introduce my guest. Thank you. We have an analyst, a very young one, that will help us do some discussion today. He is Chigozie Okechukwu. Or if you like, you say Okechukwu Chigozie. And we'll talk to find out things that have to do with our lives, the way they are, how the economy affects us. I just mentioned something that has to do with 2 billion barrels per day oil production. How do you think 2 million barrels per day will help us in our country today?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning again.
Thank you for having me in your program. I'm really honored. So it depends on how it flows. So if they can do the right thing, 2 million barrels of oil per day can be able to sustain us to a certain level. So everything still falls back on whether they are able to do it effectively, because it's not just to promise, it is to implement that is the problem. We have heard several promises in the past, but it is the implementation that is the problem. So if they can promise and they can also fulfill it, then it can also help us. So I think that it might be an upliftment to us Nigerians.
Okay, thank you so much. The problem with our country is implementation.
Exactly.
Not the program, not any other thing, because there are wonderful thinkers in this country that decide and conclude over certain things and bring them out, projects and wonderful ideas. But at the end of the day, implementation becomes another story altogether. Yes. That's why also, talking about this, it reminds me of also the fact that we just heard that the president will be injecting 2 trillion naira into the economy and all that. I don't know how far 2 trillion can go. I don't know. 2 trillion is a kind of money that some people have in their back pockets in this country, Nigeria. But what do you think about that?
2 trillion naira, it's a very, very big money. Even if we see some businessmen already even have this in their account. But if this can go into the economy in Nigeria, I think that there might be an upliftment. Like what I said before, it is not just to promise, it is to implement it. If this enter the right sources, we can see that development will come. So if they are ready to inject this 2 trillion naira, it should go into various sectors of the economy that can cause an uprising. Exactly. So, like what I said before, it is not just the promise made, it is the implementation. Everything still falls back on that. So if the president has promised this, he should be ready to implement it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because Nigeria is in a deplorable situation now. We need every backbone we can get to get the economy moving.
Yeah. For young people today, this economy is showing you people so many different things. I don't know, how do you feel the young people think about this economy today? Because you know the feelings of the young.
Yes.
How the economy is and the way it's dealing with the country today, as you people are seeing it. Can you be the voice of the young people today here on this program as it affects the economy?
Yes. So the youths and the indigenous people of Nigeria, they are very bitter about it, because they know that this country is a very, very rich country, that there should be nothing that should be lacking in the life of each and every individual in Nigeria. The youths, they can't, the people that are suitable to work, they don't have jobs, which is not something that should be written in anywhere in Nigeria.
Yes.
Because every single state in Nigeria should be fully employed. Their youth should be employed, because this is a country that have so much wealth, and we have several ways to make the economy employ our youths. So I don't think that the youths are happy. They are not happy at all, especially with the situation on ground.
Why would they be happy when people will come out from school? I remember many years back when my father was in school. It was in school, while they will be in school, that the employment will be brought to them before they will leave school. They will come to them to beg them to come and work for them when they come out from school. At my own time, when we will come out from school, we will look for a little while, we'll get it. But now in your own time, you come out from school and you stay for years without finding jobs. And so when we tell you stories, you imagine whether it's still this same country that we are in, that you were talking about. Yes, we had it good, we had it beautiful. At a stage, the naira was even higher than the dollar.
Yes.
At a stage, the naira got to be at the same level with the dollar, and afterwards it overtook the naira, and it has gone beyond the reach of the naira. That now we're no longer talking about just the naira and the dollar. That even other smaller currencies that nobody used to think about are now becoming bigger than what we own. This thing that we call the naira are now becoming so much bigger. It's quite a pity that it's happening at a time in your own time, and that's why most of all, at the time that many people are looking for ways to run out of the country, to look for where it will be better. Incidentally, running out of the country, some run out of this country and go and do jobs that are so demeaning, but they still go because they just think, let's get out of the country.
Exactly.
I don't know how you feel about those people who leave the country to go elsewhere to work, to look for work. Not even that they have the work,
Yes.
They are going out to search for it. What do you feel about that?
Like you said before, that's at your time that you found it comfortable and a very suitable place for you to be. That then naira was even at par with dollar. We see then that Nigeria was even at the beginning process. Nigeria was at the beginning process of development. And now in this developing age, we are not even close to what we were before. So is Nigeria progressing or retrogressing?
That's a big question we need to ask.
Yes.
I don't think I will be able to conclude with the answer on this program, but we could still talk more about that.
Yeah,
honestly, it's a kind of retrogression that
Yes.
we are into.
Yes. So you said about youths trying to fly out of the country. They are trying to go out to other country and do jobs that are very miniature in nature. So when we look at them, you don't actually give them a choice. They find out that even in their mother's country, their motherland, they can't even get food to eat. They can't even feed themselves. Talk more of when they are married and how would they feed their family. Even the education system in Nigeria it's bad. It's terrible. You see them going on strike, and then they will think of all these things and they will say, why don't we just look for any little opportunity to get out of the country? So if the system is good in Nigeria, they won't have that thought. Everybody in Nigeria takes Nigeria as their pride. And if the country is moving forward, they can't go to any other country. They will rather stay in their country and develop it. In the process of development, themselves, they will also be developed. So all these things still fall back to the government. What are they doing? What are they doing despite they know that the situation is terrible? How are they reacting to it? How are they reacting to the economy? They just keep on moving forward, taking decisions, not caring of public opinion, but they just do whatsoever they will that is best for Nigerians. Why? They don't have the interest of Nigeria at hand.
We see the people that are, even those ones who are young people involved in governance today, sometimes I ask, what are they even doing? Because it looks like whenever they get in there, they will calm down and relax and eat the money. Because we were expecting that such people will get in there and help put things in order. Maybe because they are very few. So we believe that some other time there will be many more of you people in there.
Yes.
So as to bring ideas together and grow the economy. Because without the growth of the economy, there will still be many more people that will leave this country, whether we like it or not. Many more people will still look for a way to go out. Even some will go through the very painful routes of, going through North Africa and all that, where so many lives have been lost. How the land cherishes the lives of its people matters a lot. Those in authority, how much do they cherish the lives of our young people? Because this economy, if it were to be better, they will not live here and go through Libya to go outside, to go to the western part of the world. If you hear the thing they go through, the harrowing experience they go through, because of the fact that they just want to go through this place, to get to the place that is green, the pasture that is green, you see that it's not worth it. But because the government and governance in the land is still so far away from the reality, it becomes a difficult thing to encourage young people to stay. But I must say, on my own terms, I must say that it's good to stay. Do the work you can here, anyhow you do it, because no place is better than home. Yeah. If you go outside, if you get there, there are many things happening there, and you don't have the right to talk loud because it's not your country. But if you are in your own land, you will make the noise, you create every situation you want because it's your land. But in these other places they go to, that's why you find them silent. They are almost non-existent as far as those lands they go to are concerned. They just do the best they can. Some will wash plates, some will go to hotels and just be working there, some will be porters, some will be the ones that will be at home doing nothing else but to clean the body of the elders. Oh God. There are many things I can't mention on air that I've heard that go on there. But well, may God help us. Amen. Because one thing we know is that this nation must be developed. This nation must be put in order. That someone that has headache will be able to just go and get treated without any problem. Lives should not be lost in our country just like that, because there is nothing we know we can do. Look at these importers of vehicles. The pains they are going through, that one of them said, I was thinking whether I should leave this and change business. But which one could I change to? Which business would I go into that is not that can work for me? When you make an elderly fellow, make a man bother how to leave his business and go to another because this one seems not to be working, it's because the economy has been brought down almost to nothing. Those in authority, may we find reason to rejoice in this land for our economy to be lifted and given a better stand. That one is one sure thing I know that can help us in every way. As I said, that we will soon talk about our health, the health of the nation and the economy, because it means a whole lot. People are working, people are dying on a constant note. What about their health? That is what we'll look into as we get into the new week. And I want to hear your last words before we conclude for today.
So, sir, I like what you said, but it's not just about oil. We see that they want to increase the production of oil in our land. It's not just about it. They can diversificate the economy. Agriculture now, they can make it a major factor that can boost in the economy. Most young people now, they are venturing into agriculture, even if the government is not aiding them. So if the government can also look at it, tackle insecurity, and make sure that there are enough land for people to go in and till and make some money for themselves. Because when you're talking about agriculture, you're talking about food, feeding. So if everybody has access to all these things, if everybody is secured, so food will not be a problem.
What is more, thank you so much for mentioning that. What is more, it's mechanized farming that is even the in thing. But how many tractors have we secured to help? Because again, someone here mentioned that there used to be tractors for each local government, you know, that the young people there would just apply and be given tractors, they go in and work. I know if there is no other place, I know that I saw it happen like that. I saw it in Enugu State some years back, that there were tractors by the Ministry of Agriculture, owned by the Ministry of Agriculture, and people will come in and hire. The tractors will be sent to them. They will work for them for 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. They will return the tractors. They were doing mechanized farming, and it helped a lot. But nowadays, there are no tractors. There is insecurity, just as you mentioned, and people are losing their lives. How can they go into it?
Exactly.
How can they go into it?
Exactly.
Well, it's all about the things that we refer to as problems of the economy. Thank you for talking about farming today, because it's important that these things are brought to the knowledge of those who should know, especially for the young people. And so in actual fact, what I gathered is that you're even encouraging the ones who are not going out to go into farming and some other basic things, so as to help grow the economy, even the personal economy, before the economy of the land. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful having you and sharing with you, Chigozie. It's a great pleasure that you are here today, and of course you'll be here soon again, because I know that there are some other aspects that we will not talk about today that will be on the board in the coming weeks, and so which you know so much more concerning. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I am Okechukwu Onubogu. I want to thank you too for being part of us and for watching and getting to understand what we have discussed. What we're saying is that we want the best for the land. Let the economy be made better. Let there be improvement in all. Let everything that we have work for us. If these things work for us, then we will not have need to leave our country to go elsewhere to see how we will develop our place, because everything is here for us. Every state in Nigeria has one mineral resource or the other. So let's develop these things. But above all else, let's have security, because when there is security of lives and property, then we can go on to do this. But when people are afraid for their lives, how can it happen? That is the question we're leaving with the government today. Help the people so that there will be security everywhere. And those who are in authority, the customs and all that the car dealers have mentioned, please look inwards and put your house in order and help these people do their business. It is legal for them to do their business. Help them, don't kill them. Thank you so much. We'll be done today, but please come again next week, because this is the last day of the week. We'll come again, of the working week. We'll come again next week with fresh ideas and new things to discuss on the program, The Economy Today. One more time, Okechukwu Onubogu here. Till next week.